Hello everybody, welcome to Tree's Minecraft Survival Series. Good evening, welcome. Hope everyone's doing really well. Thank you very much for tuning in. So welcome to what is going to be episode number 1 of a little survival series that I've been planning to do for a little time over here on YouTube. Now this is being community inspired, this little project. We have streamed on Twitch quite regularly for some time now. And we often have people coming into my Minecraft streams and asking some questions about some of the fundamentals of Minecraft and everything about Minecraft, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lot of my inspiration from my creative builds, a lot of my survival techniques. Oh, a goat. Oh, 2 goats. Am I all? You going? No, they're okay. I don't think they're going to hit me. And introduce you guys to the world of 1.18 Minecraft. So Minecraft 1.18 was released on the 30th of November. Of 2021. I know, I hear you go. And it introduces a whole bunch of new features, benefits, let's call them that for now, and a lot of added bits and pieces that we need to learn about. So what I'm going to do, oh yeah, here you go, I hear you. I'm going to try and avoid you though. So let me just get on top of the world here and talk about our survival series. So the idea is what we're going to do is we're going to cover off some very short basic episodes. They'll be no longer than about 20-25 minutes per episode. And we're going to basically walk you through, surviving your first night in Minecraft. We'll do that right now in this episode, as well as other things like armory, weapons, potion, enchanting, everything you need to know about Minecraft. And we're going to take you there on a little journey through my survival world in 1.18. Now, obviously there's some changes to Minecraft, and we're just going to cover those right now. So I'm going to, by the powers of editing, we're going to just put up some pictures of some of the things that have changed. So let's take a look. So the first thing is probably worth noting is the world height. The world height in Minecraft has changed. So it used to be that the maximum world height was 256 blocks high. That's now been increased to 320. So we can actually build to 320 blocks high. Now, the Y coordinate, which is the one that goes from the top to the bottom, has also changed. And interestingly, it used to be Y0 was the bottom. What we've now got is minus 64. Now that's something we're not going to adventure into today's episode, but we are going to take a look at that in the future, journey through some caves, and just have a look at what they've changed down there. As this is a Caves and Cliffs update, well, the caves are, massive. There's a lot to adventure, so we're going to spend an episode looking at those in the not too distant future. So that's really exciting. Next up is the dripstone cave. So we can see that here. This is just an example of a dripstone cave. Hopefully we'll find one in our world in the future and we can have a little explore down it. Now we have seen these in previous examples of beta and pre-releases, and they look incredible. So we're going to have a little look at those also in our series, but I think there's so much we could do with this for design aspects that are going to be really quite interesting. One of the major ones is the lush cave change. Here's an example of one of those. And again, likelihood in this world is we'll try and find one, and we can have a little look around and explore and see what they do. From the glowberries to the drip leaves and the moss blocks. I think it's going to really change the way in which we play, because moss blocks previously in 1.17 we could only get from a trader. So this is really going to change the way in which we play. So from lush caves to dripstones to our goats that we just saw at the start of our intro, there's quite a lot to have a look into in the future of the series. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off episode number 1 here by just simply surviving. Just let's survive a night or two in Minecraft and see where we end up. So in this world, you can see here, obviously this is the world that we spawned in. And in the description below of the video, you'll find the seed that I'm playing on, and you're absolutely welcome to join along and play with us as you go. If you post any updates or use my Discord to post pictures of your builds and the things that you found on your first survival, it'd be great to see them. All the information from my Discord, Twitch channel and seed are all in the description down below, which you're welcome to come join us and play on. So let's go enjoy our first couple nights in Minecraft. Now, a day in Minecraft lasts 20 minutes, and that's the duration at which it would take for the sun to go up, there he is up there, to go down, and to make it to the next day is 20 minutes. So we don't have long left. We're about halfway through our day, actually. Almost there. So we're going to have to make our way down. Not sure what side to pick on. We'll probably go down the right-hand side. Yeah, we'll go right. And we need to make our way down carefully. Now, we can see with our lives there, they are quite high at the moment. So we've got full lives, full food. And we're basically just wanting to try and get to the bottom. Now, I'm going to make my way down here. Now, we need to watch out for the snow. The snow is a bit of a problem in the new versions of Minecraft because you can now go into snow and freeze to death unless you've got leather boots on. So we're going to have to make our way quite carefully here. I'm not entirely sure what's good snow and bad snow. So we're going to try and make our way down and try and avoid falling through snow. Aha, here we go. Here's the snow. Now we need to be quite careful. So we'll try and make our way down gently. You can often tell the difference between the two. The blocks are slightly different in regards to the textures. So we'll try and avoid the sort of more patterned version. These ones are obviously a little bit, you can tell it's not as pixelated or you can tell with the blocks on the top. So we're going to try and avoid those ones if we can. So these seem okay. We're okay. These seem fine. So I think we're going to be okay. So we want to avoid those ones in the corner. You can actually tell the difference here between this block and that block. So we want to avoid those ones if we can. And I think we're okay here. Yep, we've made our way down. Now that's one of the ways in which we'll want to try and survive. We want to avoid the snow blocks if possible. I will try and find one at the bottom here because I know I'll probably survive this one a bit better. Can we see one to give you an example quickly? I don't see any quickly. Oh, I was hopefully want to do this a little quick example, but you want to try and avoid them if you can. They're not jumping at me quickly. We'll cover snow blocks on another episode when we have leather. And what we'll do is we'll do a bit of science and we'll test how long we can actually survive for in the snow. But yeah, let's head on down. Let's head on down. So the couple of things we're looking for on night number 1 is we're looking for food and tools and resources. So the first thing is tools. So we're looking to get some wood and stone. Now, with using wood, we can make sticks and some initial resources. So I'm going to take this tree here. Now, I can see a cow in the distance. That's good news. So let's take some wood here. Now, to make some food, we can either use things like berries, we can use potatoes, or we can use animals. Now, the first thing that's probably most obvious to people playing Minecraft is probably the animals. So you're looking out for things like cows, sheep, pigs, rabbits, that kind of thing, as they all provide food that we can eat to stay alive. And we obviously got to pay attention to the sun here as well. We can't obviously stay about too long without mobs spawning. So we'll have to watch out for the skeletons and the spiders. Right now, we'll take as much wood as we can get. Maybe let's take this one as well. There we go. And I think that's going to do us just now. We've got 11 logs. Now that cow may be our first food source. Maybe be our first food source. Okay, so let's just go into our recipes and into our crafting. So have a look at crafting. On the left hand side, we have our armor section. We have our shield or held item in our opposite hand here, and the ability to craft. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these logs and we're going to turn them into planks. Now I can select this once to choose 4, or I can hold the shift key and click the log plank, the oak planks to the right there, and that'll give me the whole stack of them. So I'm up to 44 planks already, which is really, really handy. And from this, we can use to do other things. So I can get buttons and I can get sticks, for example. Now, I'm actually going to take a few sticks here. I'm going to take 12 and that'll give me some sticks, which we can use for our tools. Now, still paying attention to the sun. We're still quite high, so we're okay just now. Next thing we're going to go for is a crafting table. So I'm going to put one in each corner. And we have a crafting table. Now, the crafting table is one of the key things that you'll want to get in an early game because you're going to be able to craft all your tools and resources by using that. So let's just place that down. Right click on it. And now, if you want to, you can use the book. Now, the recipe book will give you guidance of how to make things, which is really going to be advantageous if you're not too sure. Back in the early days of Minecraft, this wasn't a thing, which you had to learn everything. So thankfully now we've got something to speed up the build process for us and get crafting. So I'm just going to go for the basic tools. So we're going to go for the hoe, because we can use that to go for our crops and we can start to plant some wheat. We can use our wooden pickaxe to get through stone a bit quicker. We can use our shovel to get through dirt. That's obviously just a little bit more efficient. Our wooden axe for trees, and our sword if we want to fend off any mobs. And that's kind of the basics. That's the kind of key tools that we're going to start with here. You can arguably go for doors if you want to build a little initial house. I don't think we're going to have time in the first day. That's normally the case. So in your survival world, you're always looking to see what's happening with the sun here. And thankfully for us, we're still okay. We have a lot of our tools and resources, and the sun's not even went down yet. Now, with us got our basic tools, we can go hunting. Now, I'm going to take some of these saplings because we could use these later to plant our own trees. Now, in fact, I can just give you an example here. Place a sapling down, boop, and there. That'll then grow for us. So we'll let that one replenish, and we'll keep 2 for ourselves, and we'll put that back in the ground. Now, I'm sure we saw a cow here. So once you have a sword and some of your tools, you can now start to go hunting for some food. Now, we are obviously looking for initially, oh, there he is, it's for animals. Now, we'll have a look at this cow first of all, see if we can get him here. 1, 2, oh, maybe 3. There we go. 3 hits, and we have our first piece of food. So we actually got 3 bits of meat from that, which is absolutely incredible. So let's just head back up here now. How long have we got? Oh, we're getting near to night time. Now, unfortunately, I don't see any sheep, so we're not going to be able to craft a bed, which isn't too bad. If you craft a bed, it does take you from the evening to the morning without having to see any mobs. So the beds are really advantageous. You want to get them as soon as possible. But it doesn't look like we've got any sheep here. We're going to have to go for cows. There we go. There's another one. So there's some more food. Did we get any leather? No, we didn't get any leather, unfortunately. And I'm not seeing any sheep, sadly. Now, I do see, though, which is really important, I see coal. So coal is going to be really important for us early on to cook our food. Now, I don't know if we'll have time because the sun's going down and we want to be as safe as possible because this world is hard. And you can choose between hard, normal, peaceful, and easy. I went for the hard mode, and one of my first goals for this world, for myself personally, is not to die. So we're going to put a little death counter. You may have noticed it in the top corner. I'm going to try and not die in this series if I can. But we'll see how we go. You guys can have a little pay attention to that later, and we'll see if that does go up at any point. I'll try and record my deaths if I can. Right, let's just jump on through here. Now, what I've done, I've just dug straight through the side of this mountain using my pickaxe. Now, the reason why I've used the pickaxe is it's a little bit more efficient than using any of the other tools. By using my pickaxe on stone, you get cobblestone. And I'm just going to close up this entrance at the front here, just so nothing can get in. And I'm also just going to carve out around the outside here, just so I'm a little bit safer. So let's take these out. Now, I don't want to close the entrance up completely, because that's going to make it completely pitch black, and I won't be able to see. So I'll just give you an example of that. So let's just pop that in here. Oh, it's really dark. Yeah, we probably don't want to do that. We want to feel a little bit safer. And what we're looking for to survive our first night is we're waiting for the moon to pass all over and go down the other side. And without having a bed, you're going to have to wait this one out, unfortunately, and it can take a little bit of time. So by carving out this area here, what you can do is you can look at getting your initial resources, potentially iron, we're looking at coal, and some cobblestone. Now I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, and we're going to start creating some stone tools. Now this is one of the great things to be able to do straight from night in your first evening, is you've got some oak planks, and that's why it's important to chop down at least one tree. And in your first night, you can come into a stone cave if possible. So what will happen, we have all our initial wood tools, but as a very quick way of upgrading, we can put our crafting table down, and with using our sticks, we can now change these tools. So what we'll do is we'll just change them all. So the hoe that we've wooden, we can now have as stone. We can now have the stone pickaxe here. Now obviously we don't have enough sticks, so let's just make a few more sticks. And then continue making our resources. So we'll go for a shovel next, stone axe, and a stone sword. There we go. So immediately you've upgraded your tools within the first night. We're still safe, we're inside our cave, we're not going to get killed by anything. And we're pretty safe within these walls for now. And we don't want to be staying here for too long. So what we'll do whilst we're in here, as we have the cobblestone, if you look through your recipe book, you may identify a furnace. The furnace is what we're going to need to cook some of our initial food. So let's grab our furnace, put it into our inventory, and place it on the ground. Now by using a furnace, we're going to use this to cook our food. Now luckily, we already have some raw beef from the cows that we got earlier. So let's pop the raw beef at the top. But we don't have anything to cook it with. And there's a few different techniques of being able to cook food. Ideally, you want to have coal, if possible, or we could use Other resources like lava buckets, and even what we can put into here is our oak planks. Another reason why it's important to get your planks and logs very early, because it helps you not with tools, with a crafting table, but also with food. It's a very advantageous to get as many of those as you can very early on. As you can tell, they are depleting really quickly, so they're not the most efficient source for burning. Coal is probably what you're looking for in the early game, and we know there's some outside that we'll get later on. So we'll get that in a moment. So we'll just let for these to cook. Shouldn't be a moment. There we go. Fantastic. Number 4. Perfect. So we have some early food. Let's take out our oak planks and put them back in our inventory just now. And let's remove with a axe, because it's a little bit more efficient with wood. Take out our crafting table. And let's use our wooden pickaxe over here to take out our furnace. Because we don't need any more of those just now because we have no need. Now it's still dark. So we can't go outside just yet. We want to try and avoid spiders. We want to avoid skeletons, zombies, creepers, where absolutely possible in the early game. We don't want to be dying to anything like that. We have no armor. And although we have tools, we just want to keep ourselves safe over here. So a couple of things you can do whilst obviously you're waiting for the daylight to come over is you can still continue to mine. Now, there are diagrams available, and I'll probably put one in the description below, a hyperlink to one, to the different world heights. Depending on the height that you're at, depends on what the probability of receiving different ores from the world. So things like iron, gold, diamonds, copper, and so on. Now, obviously, we are still quite high in the world right now, so we're going to be coming across things like stone more frequently. We're going to be coming across potentially copper, iron, and other things like that up in the overworld, including things like dirt and diorite and granite, all the fundamental building blocks. So the chances of us finding any of the other resources here are quite slim, but you never know. In the little cave that you make yourself, you might be able to find other resources very quick and very easily. Now I'll take it this little bit of wall here and just see, oh, I think I've heard a skeleton shoot at me. Oh, he is. Oh, let's get over here and hide. We want to stay away from that. So what I'll do, I'll just need to sit here till the sun comes up for everything to disappear. So we'll give this a minute. I'll come straight back to you guys and we can continue first thing in the morning. All right, so the sun's starting to come up. Now, what we're going to do is we're probably going to look to get that coal that's above us first. And we're going to have to try and find some sheep to hopefully make a bed. That would be probably the best plan for us right now. So there we go. I think the sun's high enough now that we can go outside. But what you're looking for in the distance there is a zombie. And the telltale sign that might be of an advantage is there. They start to catch fire. Now the zombie's not quite caught fire there, but I know the one over there has. There we go. Perfect. So now, with that skeleton on fire, that's going to cause damage and allow us to be able to go out, not safely, but a little bit, a little bit better for us. We know it might be, there we go. That's died up there. Let me just have a little look at this one. Just wait for it to fall over. There we go. But our skeleton is still here. Now we're going to make a little run for it. And run. Oh no, he shot us. Oh no, we've lost a heart. Can we run away? Oh, can we run away? Oh, he's burning up trying to chase us. So we might, oh, did he go? Yeah, we got rid of him. Thank goodness. And he's actually dropped an arrow. So let's go down and pick up that arrow because we might need that later. Hey, there we go. Thank you, skeleton. Now, mobs will drop things from rotten flesh to arrows to armor. So we want to probably try and pick up those if we can in the early game because they might be more difficult to get later. Oh, there's an enderman over there. I'll maybe talk about them another day. Right, let's go try and grab that coal. Oh, the enderman's up there now. We have to be careful with that. Well, nothing to worry about unless you look at them. So we won't look at it and we'll be fine. Alright, so let's try and get the coal. It's over here somewhere. Aha, there we go. So the coal is going to be more efficient for cooking our food. So let's take all these out. There we go, get a little achievement for that. Let's collect these up and get them into our inventory. So that's going to really help us out later on when we come to cooking. Right, now a couple of things we're probably looking for. We're still looking for some sheep or some food. That's probably the two things we're probably of most important to us right now. Let's have a little look. Oh, there we go. There's some sheep. Perfect. And there's actually 3, which is great for us because that's going to help us make a bed. So let's head on down there. I can actually see some pigs over there as well. So that's another really good food source. And I think maybe some chickens. So we'll come down here. Sheep is our priority. And the reason why we're wanting to get some sheep is that it allows us to make a bed. So we're going to try and get these guys. So 2 things we're going to get from here is food and wool. And we can make a bed. And that means we don't actually have to stay up for the second night. We could actually just go to sleep in a bed. So let's get our sword out. Now I'm actually going to change it to our stone sword. The reason for that is the attack damage is slightly higher. The stone sword is 5 attack and the wooden sword is only 4. So let's take our sword, our stone sword, sorry. 1, 2. 1, 2. We'll get as many as we can. We'll probably do all of them. Because the more food we've got, the better. We'll head up here. There we go. This is fantastic for us. Sorry guys, sorry sheep. I do apologise. But we need this to survive. Lovely. There we go, we're done. Now there is some pigs over there. Oh, interestingly, there's a village as well. Right, okay, so this is going to be good for us later on in the episodes. We're not going to do that right now, we're just going to try and survive, but I do believe if we head over there, we might be able to find a bed. If you're fortunate enough to find that, I would probably just go straight there and get a bed from that location. That will save you finding sheep if you can't find them, and that'll probably give you an early bed that you can steal from one of the villagers. Now, interestingly, where we have actually ended up at a jungle biome very early, which is really nice. You can see there's some cocoa beans here. We'll probably just leave those on the tree just now. We'll talk about the importance of cocoa beans maybe later on in the episode. But let's us have a little trot back up this hill. Because we now have some food and we have enough to make a bed. So we're not going to have to stay up the second night, which is going to be great for us in surviving. The more you can avoid staying up at night, that's going to greatly increase your chances of survival. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop down the crafting table, right click, and there is our bed. So the bed is 3 bits of wool and 3 oak planks. So let's just create one bed. Fantastic. And just place that down. The other thing we can do is we could get our furnace and put that on the ground. And now use our coal and our mutton to cook some food for us to now eat. As you can see, it's a little bit more efficient. We're still on 5 blocks of 5 coal here. And even after cooking 1 piece of meat, it'll remain at 5. It hasn't depleted in any way just yet. So it stays 5. We should have another one here. So we should have 2. Fantastic. And again, we're still at 5. And this should turn into 3 cooked mutton. So that is way more efficient to use coal if you can than oak planks. There we go. 3. And we're still going. So oak planks are okay as an early source if you cannot find coal. However, if you can get your hands on some coal here, it's definitely going to save you a lot on resources in the long run, and we can keep our oak planks for ourselves. As you can see, we're still at 5, which is great, and we're not losing any of that coal. So definitely a more efficient way of doing things. So there we have it. So surviving the first night in Minecraft, a couple of things just to note while the food is cooking, is try and get some oak or any other tree that's nearby. That'll give you some logs, and it'll also give you some planks. So try and get those where possible. The next thing you want to try and do is make some initial tools like a hoe, a shovel, a pickaxe, a sword, and get some of your tools and go out looking for food. As we see in this episode, we went for sheep and cows, and those are 2 great early food sources for us to get, which we're about to show in a second. We'll just eat some of those to help us replenish. Once you have those, if you can get some sheep, ideally you're looking to make a bed. As you can see here, we have made our own bed, and that's going to help us because we won't have to stay up for the duration of the second night. Now right now the sun is directly above us, so we know we have a little time to go before it gets to the night time, so we're okay to not go in the bed for now. One thing to note with a bed though is when you do right click a bed, it does set your spawn point. Now down there in the bottom left hand corner of your screen, my respawn point is now been set to this bed. So if I were to die, thankfully in a survival world, I would come straight back to this bed, and this is where I would wake up after being put to death. You know, that could be from fall damage or from mobs. You're going to come back to this point here in survival. If you are playing hardcore and following along, well, unfortunately, you're not going to come back to here. If you play hardcore Minecraft, unfortunately, that's the end of your world and you will have to start again. So Always having a bed, really advantageous. Try and get one early, and that'll really, really help. So let's take our foods. There we go. We've got all our mutton cooked. We're up to 12, and we only lost 1 coal during that process. So that's great. We'll take that as a win. And we'll take our furnace. We will take our crafting table. And lastly, we can take our bed. Now, where I'm going to head back to is with the sun. Where's the sun? It is starting to head down now. Once more. And we're going to just head back to our little cave that we'd built previously, just for a bit of safety and security if you are going to be out late. Now, on the way, you may notice with our health, it is obviously down as we got shot by the skeleton. If you do wish to replenish your health, as we now have some food, we'll just eat one there, and that'll replenish our health back to full. And that's what we're after. And now we're ready to go exploring. So, that's what to do. Your first night in Minecraft, very easy. We just have to make sure we have the appropriate tools, appropriate food, and we can then survive for a night. If obviously you haven't found any food, a couple little quick tips for you. Look for water. Water is going to be absolutely key. Couple things that you're looking for. We'll head down that way just now. We'll head down this little flat section here. If you can't find any cows, if you can't find any pigs or horses or any sort of other forms of animals, what you're looking for is you can look for fish. Fish are a really good form of early food source. As you can see, there's some salmon down here that we can go use for a food source. Sadly, squid, we can't use those for food, sadly. So we're going to have to leave those guys in the water. But if we just take our sword here, let's go into the water. We can swipe at these salmon. There we go. Oh, we didn't get that guy. Let's do it again. There we go. We got a couple of fish. And we'll just head back to the surface. Interestingly, there is some watermelons here as well, so we could have maybe used those to get some watermelon slices. But if we just come across here, get our oven back out again. Well, I say oven. It's a furnace. I call it an oven. There we go. Pop that there. Did anyone else call it an oven? Is that just me? Put our raw salmon in. And again, we have another food source. So always be on the lookout. Have a little look around your world to find some food. It may come in a source of berries. You may be able to find potatoes or carrots or fish or any sort of animals, and you're going to look to try and get an early food source if you can. Later on in the series, we'll talk about food farms and how we can replenish stock ourselves to make it easier, but we'll cover that in another later episode. There we go. We have 2 more cooked salmon to add to our mutton and to add to our steak. So in the early game, we have some incredible food sources that we can use in this area. So if you're playing along with me, take a look around, have a look in the water, have a look around. You'll be able to find some pigs, which we saw over there. We saw some cows. We've got some sheep. And we are looking very, very good for an early game in our Minecraft world. Now, as you can see, it is getting dark. So luckily we have a bed. So let's just get on top of this world here and put our bed down and go to sleep. And that's what you're looking for. If you have a bed at this point in the game, you are very fortunate. If you don't, try and get a bed as quick as you can. So let's pop our bed down. With the sun going down, we can now go to sleep. There we go. Advancement made. Sweet dreams. And there we go. We have now survived. So night number 1, definitely recommend a little cave inside of a mountain will be absolutely fine. Get some stone, get some oak planks, and you're going to be absolutely winning. Second thing you probably want to do is look for food sources. Anything from sheep, cows, pigs, potatoes, carrots, berries, anything you get your hands on to try and stay alive for that first night. But there we go, there you have it. We have survived a night in Minecraft. So thank you very much to those that have tuned in for the first episode of 1.18. That is how to survive our first night. What we're going to do for episode number 2 is we're going to build our first little survival base here. It's a fantastic little area to build in. We have everything that we need. We've seen a village in the distance. Maybe we're going to have a little look at that next time as well. We found things that we want to probably take advantage of, like fish, squid, trees, jungle, all sorts of stuff is all around us. So let's now start exploring. So we'll see you for episode number 2 in the future, and we'll start building our first ever little survival base and also go on a bit of an adventure. Till then though, thank you very much for watching everybody. Be sure to leave a comment down below, click that little like button, and that'll really support us in our channel and anything in the future. So yeah, have a good one guys, speak soon, see you later.